When we pruned these raspberries, we cut the first section at 4 feet, and the last half of the berries we let go. And what we wanted, we just didn't prune them, in other words. We wanted to see what production looked like. We wanted to see if there was a difference in size of berries and how well they did. This row of Canbys is a little more obvious because the new growth is not hiding them so much. So you can see the tops of these are 4 feet. Here's the cut down here, like that. You can see the top of the cane right here. And then after the cane was cut off, it sent out this fruiting spur, which is about 14 inches long. This one's about 14 inches long on the ends of the fruiting spurs. And let's see, they end on down the fruiting spur. You can see here's some raspberries closer to the stem. Let's find another one that's cut. Here's one that's cut off. You see where we cut it there. Then it has fruit here, fruit here, fruit out on the end. And these berries are so much nicer to pick than the other end. I'll show you. This is way down at the other end. The vines are just loaded. There are a ton of berries, but they're all so small. And they're just fruiting off of the ends of these big long spurs, big long canes. Now, last fall, let's see, last summer, this was all pruned. But then it continued to grow and send out fruiting spurs. And those fruiting spurs, instead of being a foot long from being pruned in the spring, are 2 and 3 feet long. Some are 4 feet long. And they have so many berries on these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sets of fruit on each cane. There's another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 on that one. There's one that's about 2.5 feet long, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on that one. Okay, so the point is, the fruit's going to be a little smaller if you let those try to produce so many berries on one cane. Instead, these were pruned last year. Instead, we pruned them to 4 feet this year on the other end, and the berries are larger. Now, there's probably not going to be as much production. But it really is no fun picking tiny berries. See how pretty big these are? These are 3-ounce berries, 4-ounce berries. On the other end, they're not even 1 and 2s. They're just all so tiny. This is a Canby thornless, July-bearing raspberry. Today's the 7th of July, and they're in full production. We've been picking for a week and a half or so, about a week and a half. They started a little bit earlier this year. Just across the row here, we have a 60-foot row of Titan. And they're the same way. We cut these down to 4 feet earlier this year. You might remember we did a video of the cane borer and the fly that goes in there into the end of the cane and how far down the cane some of them went. But this end of the row has a much larger berry. These are 3 and 4 ounce berries, and so much nicer to pick than the little tiny berries on the other end. Now, this new growth comes up. This new growth has to be 7 and 8 feet tall. Just the fruiting spurs are 6 feet tall. They're as tall as I am off of the canes that we cut. You can see the lighter leaf. That's the last year's growth that's fruiting this year. But this new growth, look at that, comes clear up here. I'm reaching to reach the top right up there. That's 7 feet, and some of these are 8 feet tall. And they're not really in our way. I can push them back out of the way and reach in and pick these beautiful berries. Those are 3 and 4 ounce berries right there. Aren't they pretty? There's some more. I'll go to the far end of the Titans. And we did the same thing. We let these go. There is no pruning on any of this beyond what we did last year. And all of these are 1 and 2 ounce berries, little tiny things. But there are thousands of them. It's just that they're no fun to pick. So even though the production might be a little less, my preference would not be to have to pick such a small berry. They're no fun. Look at all those berries. Wow. The Titan came on about almost a week after the Canbys this year. So I would say right around the 1st of July, and the Canbys came on just before the 1st of July. These are Canby. And I believe the book does say the Canby will produce more than the Titans. We find that to be slightly true. Just there may be some truth to it, but it's hard to tell the difference. I find that there tends to be a propensity for the Titan to make a little bit larger berry, and there again, I really appreciate that I don't have to pick small berries. One of our biggest challenges in growing raspberries is finding one that tastes good, that produces good, that's not so stickery and thornless, and makes a larger berry.